So you were thinking about moving to Vancouver, BC and wondering what the cost of living in Vancouver is like? Well, in this video, we're going to uncover the unthinkable numbers that it takes to live in this beautiful city that has the most expensive rental rates in the country at a time that Canada has just hit a new record high in rental rates. And home prices in many areas are close to reaching the peak levels of 2022, and yet many are struggling to be able to keep their heads above water and make their payments. Vancouver is a absolutely worldwide destination to visit, as well as highly sought after as an area to be able to call home. But with that comes a hefty price tag, and we're going to look at exactly what those numbers look like so you know what it's going to cost to live in Vancouver, BC, and we're going to jump in right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that there is about living in Vancouver and the surrounding Vancouver suburbs, then make sure to go right down below this video and subscribe, and then tap the bell that shows up for notifications so that you can be the first to learn about the current Vancouver real estate market. My name is Jonathan, and our team here at the Vancouver Life Real Estate Group, we get texts, we get calls, we get emails every single day from people just like you that are looking at moving to Vancouver, Canada, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving here in the next 9 days or 90 days, just give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom call at the link right down below the description in this video, and we'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to Vancouver, BC. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the cost of living in Vancouver, BC and the greater Vancouver suburbs as of July 2023. What does it cost to live here? Well, we're going to break this video down into two sections for you based off of your situation. The first section is going to be if you are currently renting in the city of Vancouver, or if you plan on moving to Vancouver and entering the rental market. If you're looking on the other side of things and the possibility of being able to buy a home in Vancouver or a townhouse or a condo, then we're going to cover that in the latter portion of this video. So if you want to skip the rental section and go straight to the prices of Vancouver real estate and the cost of buying a home here, just scroll down below this video in the description, and under the section that says chapters, just click or tap on the section titled Part 2 Vancouver Real Estate Guides Home Prices. All right, let's get behind the computer and dive in. Rentals.ca just released their national rent report for August of 2023, and it breaks down the prices from July and the average asking rental rates across Canada. And those rental rates have officially hit a new record high of $2,078 a month. Now, for some of you in some major metropolitan areas, that may not seem like very much, but that rental rate is average across all types of rentals. I do want to note that the report from rentals.ca creates these stats from rental listings of purpose-built rental and condominium buildings, because basically tracking the data for apartments and condos on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist would be virtually impossible to do. So these are coming from purpose-built rental buildings. So what is the rate of acceleration of this increase in the rental rates? Well, essentially, this increase, again, is across the country, and that rate of growth came in at 8.8% over June alone, representing basically the fastest month-over-month increase that we've seen in 8 months. And this is a continuation as what we saw in June, because we essentially had the same headline that rates increased at a rate of 1.4% over the prior month, which was the fastest month-over-month increase that we had seen at that time. And here in BC, we recorded the fastest month-over-month increase in rents all across the country, leading in at 2.8%. And over the past 2 years, the average asking rents in Canada have increased by 21%. Adding to this increase, and another reason that rents experienced further upward pressure last month, is because that this is the time that post-secondary students rush into the rental market to try and sign their leases ahead of time so they are ready and know that they have a spot to live for the fall term. Add on to that the fact that the population grew by a record level, and that many would-be home buyers have moved to the sidelines as the Bank of Canada has raised the interest rates to a 22-year high, pushing the greater demand on rentals and many people not wanting to go into the market to buy a home. Take a look at this graph. It shows the change in average listed rent by bedroom type, comparing studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 beds, and 3 bedroom options. And the biggest change by far, as you can see, is in the 1 bedroom category. So 1 bedroom units that year over year saw a growth of 13% in rental rates and 2.5% increase over July alone. And as you can see, the 2 bedrooms are not far behind them, as you can see. Alberta is leading the pack across the country for annual rent growth, with average asking rents up 16% year over year. BC, however, still remains the most expensive province for rents, with an average monthly asking rent of $2,622. Keep in mind, this is all rental types from studios to 3 bedrooms and the average across the board. Now, those stats are for all rental types across all of BC, so let's dive into the numbers specifically for the city of Vancouver. The average rental rates for each type of condo are as follows. Average across the board is $3,300 a month in the city of Vancouver. So 1 bed, you're looking at $3,000 a month. 2 bedrooms, you're looking at almost $4,000 a month. And 3 bedrooms, you're looking at just over $4,600 a month for those. Now in July, 4 of the top 5 mid-sized markets with the highest average asking rental rates came in this province of BC. So let's take a look at what those are. Now in July, 4 of the top 5 mid-sized markets with the highest average asking rental rates were found within the province of BC. So let's take a look at what those are. At number 1 was North Vancouver at just over $3,500 a month. Richmond came in at number 2, over $3,100 a month. Oakville was actually in Ontario, and that's just sitting just $5 short a month below Richmond. And then number 4 and 5 were in BC as well at Coquitlam and Burnaby. And Burnaby sitting at $3,000 a month, and Coquitlam just over $2,800 a month. I'm going to finish off this rental section with a quick overview and historic high rental times that have been a predictor of future recessions. Then that's going to tie into the home buying side of things in the next section of this video. So excessive rental rates have been an indicator of future recessions in the past. Not all of them, but 4 out of the last 5 recessions have been fairly well predicted using something called the home price to rent ratio. When people cannot buy, like in a high interest rate environment we might be in today, or when they've lost their job or that they might lose their job, they rent. And then competition for the rental market goes up as it's the only affordable element left. And rental prices remain higher as a result. Home buying demand decreases, sales volume decreases, home prices decrease, and overall there's less spending in the economy. And typically this is a trend that occurs prior to recessions. Now we actually saw parts of this in a mild way last year as interest rates were going up, but the recession aspect didn't quite happen and the home price dips were very mild and they bottomed out in January. And right now though, those rental prices have hit record levels. Now builders and developers during that time pull back on building and bringing homes to market, which we have seen in a big way over the past year. And that further propels the recovery when things turn around through this time, because then people that are coming into the country and then the folks who held off on buying all decide to come back at the same time. So then there's bigger demand, but there's less inventory to be able to choose from. And then things launch into a frenzy again, creating lots of competition and multiple offers happening across the board. This all brings you to the cost of buying a home in Vancouver or buying a condo in Vancouver, BC. Before we dive into some numbers, I have to clarify that currently across every metropolitan area of Canada, there is a foreign buyer ban in effect until the end of 2024. You cannot buy a residential property unless you're a citizen, you have PR status, or you have a work permit that has an expiry with more than 183 days remaining by the time you complete on the property. Now, there are different exemptions based on your status and the area that you're intrigued to buy in. And when it comes to location, it's all about the density and the population in that area. So depending on where you're going, if you're intrigued, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email, and let's find out if the ban applies to you. All right, let's dive into the numbers for what has sold in the city of Vancouver in the past 30 days to give you an idea of what it's costing right now today in our current market. Each of these numbers here are going to compare the greater Vancouver average in terms of price with the actual city of Vancouver pricing. Single family detached homes, greater Vancouver is sitting in at just under $2.2 million for the average single family home, median price sitting at 1.85. Now the city of Vancouver, significantly more than that, sitting at an average of 2.9 million or a median price of $2.364 million. And I did a video recently on this of what are the cheapest livable homes on Vancouver's west side. So anything west of Main Street in the city of Vancouver. There were very, very few listings, and I did a video sharing what are 5 different properties that are considered livable that don't require a lot of renovations on the west side of Vancouver, and literally those were the only 5 homes basically that didn't need much work, that were under 2.3 million. So that west side of Vancouver is really contributing to these prices. You'll definitely find a few more options on the east side of Vancouver in that price range. Townhomes across Greater Vancouver, 1.1 million you're looking at, just under that for the median price. City of Vancouver, there's actually only 27 listed currently, and the average price is 1.5 million for a townhome or 1.3 million for the median price. Just to clarify as well, I like the median price as a comparative factor because the average, you could have a luxury high-end townhome that sells and that brings the whole average up, whereas the median takes, okay, there's 27 properties, what was the price point of the property right in the middle, and that's typically a little bit more conducive in terms of what has happened in the market. Then you go into your condos. Greater Vancouver average just under $800,000 for the average or median price of $720, and the Vancouver City of Vancouver average is again much more than that, just over $120,000 more for the average price and a median price of $775,000. Here's a quick look. What is the approximate price that you would pay per bedroom for a place in Vancouver? 1 bedroom average, you're looking at $680,000, 2 bedroom, $1,075,000, or a 3 bedroom average of $1.5 million. Now that you have a good idea of what you're looking at in terms of costs of buying the different types of homes, what I want to do is just give you a quick idea of what it's going to cost on a monthly payment wise for your mortgage to be able to service that debt of the mortgage that you're getting, the loan that you're getting from the bank. And what I'm gonna do, because I know some of this is not gonna be applicable for many of you, I'm gonna bring up a slide for each of the different price ranges in terms of, say, $600,000 mortgage, $1 million mortgage, $1.5 million mortgage, so you get an idea of what the monthly payments will be based off of today's rates. Now, this week's rates, it's August 15th as I am recording this right now, August 15th, 2023. So just put that into context as rates may change by the time that you watch this video. So I'm gonna break it up because right now, most people are really kind of falling in line with the 2-year or a 3-year fixed payment as opposed to going with a 5-year fixed term because of how high the rates are right now. So you're going to see a few different options in terms of what those monthly payments look like based off of the length of term and the interest rate that we have right now today. Let's dive into that. So the first price range we have here is $480,000 up to $600,000. Again, here's your monthly payments based off of a 2-year fixed, 3-year fixed, or a 5-year variable rate right now. As you can tell on all these slides, the variable rate is higher than all the fixed right now, but bond yields have just gone up. So there's probably going to be an increase in the fixed rates by the time that you see this video shortly. Next up, we have the price range of $640,000 to $800,000. Again, a significantly bigger change here, and you're just going to see that on each of these slides. Next up, we have $800,000 to $1 million, 2-year, 3-year fixed, and 5-year variable. Next 2 slides, we have $1.2 million to $1.5 million in terms of mortgage amounts. And lastly, we have $1.6 million to $2 million. Hopefully those numbers were valuable to you so you get an idea of what the monthly cost of servicing that debt, that mortgage that you'd be getting on a home at those different price ranges. There you have it, everyone. The cost of living in Vancouver housing, whether you are looking at rental rates in Vancouver or buying a home in Vancouver. This is what you need to know for the numbers as of July 2023. As always, if you're thinking about moving to Vancouver, living in Vancouver, or relocating to Vancouver in the next 9 days or 90 days, then give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom call right down below this video, and we'd love to be able to find out more about you and help you make a smooth move to Vancouver.